I've lived a pretty interesting life. It's definitely been an unusual journey that brought me here. But from a young age, I was into different stuff. I never really fit in. I became a really good actor. I would act like I would do my best to act the part. But inside, I just was always into some different things, and I moved around constantly, went to 14 different schools, and it showed me a lot about people and cultures. And being a young person, it was hard, but as I became an adult, it really gave me the ability to connect with a lot of different kinds of people, to feel comfortable in situations that most people just didn't feel comfortable in. Becoming an adult, it was tough because there were people in my life that were like, hey, you're athletic, you're strong, you should do this, you should do that. And I tried, maybe I'll just do the whole fireman thing or the paramedic thing. And, I would try to do all these things that I thought would make the people around me happy. But in my soul, it was like, I just knew that there's gotta be something out there that will satisfy my soul and put food on the table. Which is, it's a crazy thing, and a lot of people don't think that's possible. But in my gut is like, well, it has to be possible. And through that journey, I had just lots of questions about, like, why am I here? Where do I come from? What's really the story of, like, the human past? And I've spent lots of time in the Bible and lots of time just studying other texts that correlate with the Bible, and just a very spiritual approach. And I found that the greatest questions that I had, that I needed to ask, the deepest questions that I thought that some guru out there had for me, or some seminar, or if I find some teacher, those questions I was able to answer myself. I got those answers from myself. And when I learned the skill set to turn inward is when everything outward started to truly change. When I started asking the right questions. Because one of the things that I don't think a lot of people really realize is that the answers that we're getting, it's not that we're asking the wrong questions. It's just that the answers we're getting they're only worthy of the questions we're asking, and we're asking for more answers. And I don't think more answers is the answer. I think we need to learn how to ask new questions. And in order to ask new questions, they have to come from a different version of us. And what healing is it drives the human being into a different version of us that is closer to the version that we aspire to become, while including everything that we are and everything that we have been. So inclusion is like a really, really important thing when it comes to the process. Some of the things that I think are, like, really important about society's conception of what healing is and what healing is in reality is that, we all are maybe familiar with the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell. If you're not familiar with Joseph Campbell, you're definitely familiar with The Matrix. You're familiar with The Hobbit, Hunger Games. It's all the same story. The Bible, the crucifixion of Jesus and the resurrection, we all know the story. And the story is that, the hero crosses this threshold that he can't return from. And as he crosses this threshold from the ordinary world into the special world, the supernatural world, there's this ordeal. There's this, whether it's a dragon or some type of foe, it's some type of ordeal that results in some kind of death. And it's terrifying. And every single time the hero has to face this adversary on his or her own. Jesus, his own father, left his side. And he had to face death on his own. His own father turned his back on him right there. Frodo, on Mount Doom, there was no Gandalf around. Luke Skywalker, where's Yoda? Nowhere to be found. Where is the the healer guy, the teacher that's supposed to be there to guide you. Well, the teacher's job is to equip the student with all the necessary skills that person will need to face whatever they have to face. But our journey is truly meant, and the adversary is truly meant to be faced on our own. And really, as a facilitator, it's my job to just help the human being grab all the tools that they need so they can face their dragon and that they can find their treasure. And that's the hero's journey, and that ties into my philosophy of life and where I fit in that story.